Can you tell our listeners what happened and just how quickly it all happened?
That was in the fight I just mentioned where the one perpetrator had 73 holes in him. It was two males that came in to stick up a motel out by JFK Airport, and we were staked out. My partner at the time was Jim Cirillo. A uniformed sergeant had entered the premises. We never told the uniformed people we were back there. And he checked in with the manager, everything was okay, and he left shortly thereafter. And he wasn't gone a minute or two when the two perpetrators walked in. I surmised that they were watching him. Turned out they were. They had a white Volkswagen parked outside. They were sitting in it. And the minute he walked out, they walked in with a rifle cut down, and they had it under a serape. It was two males, and one looked like a female with the afro on. So I thought it was just something that we were going to rent the room and go have a party in it, boyfriend, girlfriend, but that wasn't the case. They walked down the aisle too rapidly and too serious. My alarm bells went off. And I told Jim, I think it's going down. Well, when he lifted the serape off, I knew it went down right then and there. The barrel was cut. We go right through our armor. And he took the butt and hit the clerk in the eye with it and popped the eye out and drove the glass into the eye socket. The other one went and got the money out of the safe, and now he walked the manager. He took the rifle and walked the manager right past me. We were behind a one-way piece of glass. And I looked at how he was dressed. He was dressed quite nicely, so I figured, you know what? He doesn't want to get his clothes bloody with the blood splatter if he shoots this guy, and which is true. He made the manager back off. He backed away from him, giving him enough room. When the bullet hit, it would not splatter his new clothes that were all pressed. So at that moment when he stepped back, that's when I took my shot. Prior to that, I thought about pulling the trigger on him, and my mind said, no, if you shoot him and that gun goes off and he kills the manager, that is on my conscience. I would think that I'd be responsible for killing that man. So I waited, and as it turned out, it was a good decision. When he stepped back, I kicked the door open and leveled the shotgun at him. He turned with the rifle to me, but I was faster on the trigger, and I shot him straight away at a distance of about 6 feet, maybe no more than 6.5 feet. And I shot 3 times. I shot him once, his partner, and they started to run, and I engaged again and let the last round of 00 Buck go, and the last 2 rounds in the Ithaca were 2 12-gauge slugs. My partner, Cirillo, fired 4 rounds, I believe, 3 00 Buck and 1 slug, and I didn't know he even shot. I don't hear anything because you're so intense on what you're doing, you don't pay attention to any other noises. When it was all over, I walked down, and Jim said he fired 3 rounds plus 1 slug, so I never heard the gun go off. I had fired all of my 12-gauge, and when both of them were down, I fired 3 rounds of a .38 special in one perp and 3 rounds in the other perp. The one perp without the rifle in his hand, he succumbed to those wounds. He was out of the picture. The other guy kept trying to line me up. He's spitting blood, holding a rifle, and I proceeded to draw my backup gun, my .45 1911, and I shot him 8 times in the heart and 1 through the chin into his brains, and that was the end of it. He succumbed, and the gunfight was over. The entire gunfight didn't last more than probably 4 to 5 seconds. That was it. It's rapid, and you must think rapidly, and that's why I advocate training.
Still carry a gun every day of your life?
24/7. The only time I don't have it on is in the shower. If I had a tight plastic bag, I'd probably wear it there, too.